arrive on the scene here. We're seeing another Pico truck arriving, and so this is definitely still a story and an incident that is developing as our first responders continue to do their jobs here at the scene in the 400 block of Daly Street.
Amy, tell us about the perimeter here. You said earlier people should not even attempt at this moment to try to come to that area. Is that right?
Absolutely right. I mean, we're here on the corner of 5th and Wolf, but the street itself is blocked. I see a PGW truck. I see a fire truck. I can't even see what's behind that down the block. And we've had our Action News vans trying to get a little closer to the site of the collapse, and our photographers driving those vans have been told they cannot get any closer because the first responders are concerned about the possibility of an additional explosion or collapse. So your best bet, unless you absolutely must be in this area, maybe to check on a loved one or a relative of that sort, is to stay away from this area. We even had a woman come up on the scene a short time ago. She was very upset. She has pets in one of the homes that was evacuated on Daly Street, and the firefighters told her it's best to just let those pets shelter in place in the home. They would not let her go to her house and get her pets. You can understand how distressing that would be, but they don't want to risk anyone else becoming injured in this, again, volatile situation here on Daly Street.
And Amy, you said you got a sense of that. The firefighters are not exactly rushing down the street there. They are carefully assessing the situation. Tell us again about what their concerns are at the moment.
Well, the gas and electricity have been cut off, so it would seem unlikely that there would be another gas explosion if that indeed was what happened here to the scale of what these people heard that shook their walls this morning. However, you know, we don't know exactly how quickly the gas is dissipating. We don't know if that's exactly what triggered it, if there are other situations going on in a basement or where there might be some gas trapped or something like that. So they are moving very slowly. They've been looking in bucket trucks to try to survey the situation from above. We see all the firefighters that have been going down the street wearing all of their protective gear with oxygen. They've gone down the street with their picks and axes to try to get through some of that debris and see what they can find there. But they are taking every precaution possible because, again, we already have 7 people in hospitals. We don't want to add to that total at all down here by people moving too quickly and possibly triggering some other incident when we don't exactly know what has gone on here this morning.
And Amy, we're now hearing from Jefferson University Hospital, the hospital confirming 7 patients are there at the hospital now being treated for what they are calling minor injuries, which is so hard to believe when you see that devastation there. But some good news, those are minor injuries. And tell us again, a couple of those are babies, correct?
Really young babies. We're hearing there was a 1-month-old and a 3-month-old and 3 parents of those children. I'm not exactly sure which of the parents belongs to which of the babies. One had 2 parents, I guess either in the home with them or on the street with them. And the reason some of these numbers might be a little different, what we're hearing from officials and what we're hearing from hospitals, is that some people had relatives on the scene or had neighbors who may have taken them to the hospital to get checked out after all of this happened. So there may be people at hospitals that were involved in this that were not officially transported by the Philadelphia Fire Department, but got to those hospitals because they were given rides by friends or family members. So again, because this just happened so recently, a lot of our information is very preliminary.
Exactly. And again, if you're just tuning in, at 11 o'clock this morning, firefighters were called out here to the 400 block of Daly Street. This is Chopper 6 HD, some video from just a short time ago. The initial report was that one home had collapsed. When they arrived, they found that home had been leveled at 426 Daly Street, where our understanding is a contractor had been doing some work in the basement. Neighbors described hearing quite an explosion. It rocked the houses and sent debris flying in all directions. We do know 7 people have been transported to local hospitals, to Jefferson University Hospital, I should say, and among them are a 3-month-old infant, a 1-month-old infant, and the parents of those babies, as well as we have some more that a 15-year-old and other adults were transported, including the contractor who our understanding is suffered some some burns there, but Jefferson University Hospital telling us right now that the extent of the injuries are minor, so that is some good news. But firefighters still calling this a very volatile situation. They are unsure if there could be some sort of secondary explosion. There is an evacuation center that has been set up at Taggart Elementary School at 4th and Porter. Power has been cut off in this area, so people don't have electricity or air conditioning, that kind of thing at this moment, so they can go to Taggart Elementary School. The American Red Cross is there on the scene assisting people who have been evacuated as well, but quite a scene of devastation here in South Philadelphia.